Baby, you will. All right, welcome back to the show, folks. I got that cut up troublemaker Aubrey Kahn in the studio with me here tonight. Oh my God. All right, welcome to the show, folks, and welcome back to the show. If you have been listening, thank you for being out there. You are listening to the American Adversaries Drive Time Prime Time Show, and we are coming to you live on FM 105.5 and AM 660 The Answer. And that is Aubrey Kahn across from me, and I am Christopher Hart. And if you don't believe me, you can go to YouTube and see for yourself. Right, General Paris?
Yep.
Tell them how.
Go to YouTube, type in either Adversaries TV or Pariscope, and you will find us.
All right. And by the way, you can also subscribe to us at YouTube, right?
Yes. Join Al. He was our first subscriber.
And what does that mean?
You basically, anytime a new video comes up, you get alerted every time that you're on YouTube when it pops up.
All right. So, and of course, these videos are archived at YouTube, so you can go back and watch us at your convenience. Okay? So, all right, we're coming to you live from the Mercury Free Broadcasting Studios, and please do not forget, for the very best in Mercury Free general dentistry and health-centered dentistry, give my dentist, Dr. James B. Hardy, a call, please, at 407-678-3399. And you can please ask him about his great book, Mercury Free, which will explain in great detail, and it's actually a very good read, as to why you, too, should be Mercury Free. And you don't want to be gun-free, though, but the government wants us to be just that, it appears. We got a lot to talk about, though, left in this hour. I hope you caught Abe Katzman's interview with us earlier in the show. If you did not, please, after tomorrow night's show, you can go back in our archive, or after tonight, you can go to YouTube, just like General Paris just told you. And you can actually see us as we held the interview with Abe. The situation in Israel is really deteriorating over there. There is what I believe to be an orchestrated wave of violence being perpetrated by terrorists. It's being encouraged by the well, it's also being encouraged in the synagogues.
No, not in the synagogue.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In the mosques. Pardon me. In the mosques. Also, there's a member of the Knesset who may have gotten herself into some trouble because she's encouraging these Palestinians to go out and commit acts of violence against Israelis. And guess what? They're doing it with knives. They're stabbing and killing people with knives. So,
time to ban knives.
This goes to show that if people want to hurt people, they'll do it with whatever they get their doggone hands on. Right? Did you ever see that movie Casino? I've never rewatched it from beginning to end, but I happened to turn on the TV the other night and flip to the movie channel, and the very end of that movie was playing out. And at the very end of the movie, these mafia, it's about Las Vegas and Bugsy Siegel and all that stuff out there. By the way, do you know why he named his hotel the Flamingo? Right. Because that was the nickname he gave his girlfriend. You know why he gave his girlfriend the nickname Flamingo?
Because he feathers.
No. If somebody out there knows, $20 gift card to Cafe Positano. Why did Bugsy Siegel give his girlfriend the nickname Flamingo? All right, to get back to my point, though, at the end of the movie Casino, the mobsters trick a couple of their own out into a cornfield, and they beat them to death with baseball bats. Right?
So time to ban those.
Right,
too.
Exactly. But yeah, you can use a car to drive into the crowd. So it's ridiculous to think that if we take guns away from people, that there's going to be somehow less violent crime out there. The guns aren't the cause of the crime. They're the result, if you will.
Yeah, otherwise we've got to ban pressure cookers.
Indeed. But it turns out that you want to pull up that NRA thing that you just showed me there.
You had to do that to me, didn't you?
Yeah, okay. I saw you put it away, so I was going to. But evidently, yes, no, not that one. No. The NRA has discovered a memo written by the Justice Department
while still under Eric Holder.
Right. Seeking, solutions to the gun problem, if you will, the way they see it. And, of course, their solution is registration. And
confiscation.
And then the confiscation, right. But the interesting thing is, at the end of the memo, it says, after you confiscate the guns, then the criminals will be getting more illegal guns. In other words, the criminals will still be getting guns, but they'll be getting more guns. And the law-abiding citizens, of course, under this policy, were it ever to be implemented, would be unarmed. Can you imagine the situation? Let's just think of it this way. We had this conversation with Abe earlier, and he's describing how all around Jerusalem, but also in Tel Aviv and other places in Israel, the West Bank even, that there are these multiple knife attacks, okay? But he also told us, because Israelis are able to carry weapons, that many of these attacks have been thwarted, if not completely prevented, by citizens with their own firearms. Now, let's consider that things were reversed. In other words, let's think that the Obama policy, this memo, were implemented in Israel. And so Israel passes a law that prevents the people from carrying firearms. And all of them, the Palestinians and the Israelis, Jews, Arabs, all of them, okay? So, who do you think will be able to get the guns? Of course, it will be the bad guy. And so imagine what's going on in Israel now. However, instead of the Israelis being able to stop and prevent the attacks with guns, them being unarmed and being the subject of the gun violence. You see where I'm trying to go with this? Guns are all about protection. I talked about it on the show last night. It's all about protection. First and foremost, we are to protect the Constitution and our form of government from all forms of tyranny. Whether those forms of tyranny come from within or without. That is the primary purpose of the Second Amendment. To go hunting is an afterthought. The primary purpose is to protect and prevent tyrannical forces from doing away with the Constitution. Whether those forces come from within the borders of the country, from within the government, or from some invading force. After that, guns are to be used for protection of our own personal selves and our own personal property. After that, they're to protect us from starvation. In other words, to be able to go and hunt. So that's way down on the list, you see. But the Democrats and the liberals don't want to really debate the whole purpose of having the Second Amendment. This is why they are attacking Ben Carson over what he said about the Holocaust experience would have been much different had the Jews been able to protect themselves with guns. And we all know that that is true. We don't know what that different experience would have meant, but we know that it is true. We know that the Nazis would have had one heck of a harder time killing millions of Jews. It would have messed up all his plans, because the Jews are courageous and effective warriors. If you don't believe me, read the Bible. Look out through history, recent history. It's proven over and over again. You disarm a people, and I don't care how strong they are, after that they are weak. And those who are armed will be able to do with them as they will, as we saw. And by the way, they did the same thing in the Soviet Union. Took guns away, killed millions of their own people. Did the same thing over there in the eastern countries, right?
Right.
It's not rocket science here. So we need to follow, I think, Carson's lead to take the debate away from, well, we don't keep guns just to protect ourselves or go hunting. We keep guns to protect the Constitution. All right, let's go to, speaking of this, let's go to Bill from Maitland. Bill, thank you for calling.
Hey, how you doing?
Excellent. Yourself?
It's all about control. And if you want to go in between the Bible and current day, there's an interesting story about how karate came into existence. The Japanese conquered the Okinawans. They disarmed them totally. The complaint was that the Okinawans also ate meat and they needed a knife to butcher. So they said, okay, we'll solve the problem. We'll give one knife per village and a knife will be changed to a Japanese soldier. The Okinawans went to China, learned how to fight with their hands and feet, and came back, and the soldiers started dying and the knives started being taken because the Okinawans were resisting.
Yes.
They did not want to be controlled.
Right.
And they created weapons.
Well, and it just goes to show that the human spirit, will, in the quest to survive, will find all means and resources to do just that. Bill, excellent point, Bill. Thank you for the call. Appreciate you being out there. Hey, Bill, do we have your email address?
No, not right now.
If you'd like to leave it with Jeff, I'll send you our latest Intel Brief/newsletter. I think you'll enjoy it.
That's okay. I'll talk with you later.
All right. I appreciate it, though. Thank you for calling.
Bye now.
All right. Stick around, folks. We'll be back.